Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial for the Twitter Clone Full Stack Development course. In this video, we're actually going to be correcting a mistake we made when making the database. It's fairly easy to overlook, of course, but it is a very important thing that we did forget. And so trying to access the database is going to be fairly tough and kind of weird if we don't change it. If you notice here, I made the change, but if you notice, we don't have that key here. You are probably looking at your database right now and not seeing this. That means this key means that this is the primary key. So this means that it is actually the unique identifier. I know last time we talked about it being the unique identifier, and we allowed it to be, but we didn't actually specify it to be the unique identifier, which is this primary key here. So we allowed it to be the identity, but we did not actually specify that it is. So we need to change that. So what I did, since we really don't have too much data in this database, we can just quickly go over here and you can go ahead and delete the database. So we're going to go over here. It should have said users. We will delete this right here and we'll hit OK. So that will have just deleted our database. Let's go ahead and clean out a couple of these. Oops, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I kept a bunch of tabs open. Okay, there we go. Now it's clean. So if we look here at our Twitter clone tutorial DB, we should see no tables. So let's go ahead and add a table. Hit new table. Now we'll go user ID, data type is int, not allowing nulls, and then we'll just go ahead and pump out the rest of these really quick. Email, we can do, oops, we'll do varchar, let's do varchar max. Actually, yeah, we'll do max, that's fine. Password, same thing, varchar max. So we'll just copy this, put it here, and then first name, same thing here, varchar max, and then last name. Okay. So for this, we're actually not going to allow the email and password null because that's a very key component of a user. So, okay. Now we're going to go to this user ID. It's an integer. We can go down here. Oops. And we're going to open this up a little bit more. All right, identity specification. So we're going to find it, and it's right here. Drop it down, is identity, double click for yes. Now that's just the first part. The second part is going in here and right clicking, going over to this arrow, right clicking and hit set primary key. There we go. So now we have this set as our primary key, and then a couple more things as well that we need to do. So in order to access this, you might run into an error, especially as we go into Entity Framework Core, that you might run into an error with being able to access the database. So what we can do is for this on our database here, or on our server, database server right here, just right click it and then go to Properties. Now under Security, go ahead and select SQL Server and Windows Authentication Mode, and then hit OK. It'll probably say something along the lines of you need to restart it. If you do, go ahead and click this button right here, and if you're still having issues, disconnect and connect again. So that's really the only database setup we need to do here since it's local. So go ahead now and let's go and actually add some data into this table right now. So we already were able to create the database. So let's go new query. And then very simple again, insert into, let's go ahead and take a look at the tables. Oh, we don't have the tables here, and that's because we created this without saving. So over here, table 1, we can go ahead and call this Twitter user. All right. We hit enter, control save. All right, now it should have saved. Let's refresh this. And in tables, we don't see anything. So control save once more. There we go. Try it again, take a look, and there it is. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't able to actually save it there the first time. So now we see it, and let's go back to our query here. As you can see, that's weird. I've had this happen a couple times. It's where the screens kind of blend into each other. So we're just gonna open up a new screen. No, we don't want to save that. So that was a query, by the way. It was just showing weird. So we're going to try and redo that query. So insert into Twitter. Let's see. Twitter user values. And then if we go over here, under Twitter user, email password, first name, last name. So email password. So do password. There we go. Pretty generic. First name, John. Last name, Smith. Cool. All right, now let's go ahead and hit execute. All right, there we go. So it ran correctly. Don't worry about this underline. It doesn't recognize that we just barely created this Twitter user table down here. So don't worry about that. Now we were able to add in through our statement that we learned in one of the first videos. We were able to add in all of this data. So if we go to Twitter user now, the table, and select top 1,000 rows, we are now able to see our user. Okay, cool. So now we were able to fix that issue. I don't want to edit videos if I make a mistake. I want to show you guys the mistake I make, or the mistakes that I make throughout this course, and then figure out how we can actually fix them and what we need to do to fix them. So because I know that programming isn't always pretty the first time, and we need to know, especially if we're going to be really effective programmers, we need to know how to roll with the punches and figure out how to take care of these issues. So I'm definitely not going to go back and edit the previous videos where I made that mistake. I want to show you guys, of course, in this video, that's the mistake I made, and this is how we were able to get through it, because it's likely that you guys will actually make mistakes like that in the future, and so it is very important to know how to troubleshoot and how to fix it. So in this case, fortunately, it was a fairly easy fix since we didn't have much data. So yeah, we were able to fix it. Everything turned out great. And so in the next video, now we're actually going to connect our API to this database, and we're actually going to start reading some data. So stick with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.